Acton town, and we're at the police station. Gonna go figure out the safest way to get across. This one looks quite busy. Yeah, I'll pick it back up when I get across to the other side there, guys. I'll see you in a minute.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn.
Some nice drone footage around this area. We've got some nice Christmas lights up. It's quite a nice open space. Get the lights of the traffic and that pouring round. There's quite a lot of people in the front counter, and it's quite busy. Doesn't look like there's anything to really see in there anyway. They've got the yellow phone in there, and that's about it. South Acton Safer Neighbourhood team, Acton Central Safer Neighbourhoods. So we've got an Acton Town Centre Public Spaces Protection Order area. But you're not allowed to drink alcohol, no psychoactive substances. Give your name and address to an authorised officer if asked to do so to deal with any of the activities outlined in this order. Okay. Groups causing antisocial behaviour, intimidating and aggressive begging, obstructing access, disperse from the area if asked to do so by an authorised officer because they reasonably believe that you have been obstructing the entrance of a commercial business during the course of its opening hours. Damn. Commercial waste. Remove from the public space any commercial waste deposited or left there for the purposes of collection when asked by an authorised officer because they reasonably believe that waste has been left in a public space for an unreasonable length of time or, where applicable, outside the specified time to possess and or smoke, inject, inhale or otherwise consume any psychoactive substances. Urinating, defecating, spitting. Urinate and or defecate in a public and or communal space. Deposit saliva, mucus or any other product from the mouth or nose without reasonable excuse or attempt to collect or eradicate the saliva or product. Damn. Careless cigarette disposal. Dispose of any cigarettes, cigars, roll-ups into a bin without first fully and properly extinguishing them. If you engage in any of the above and do not stop when asked to do so by an authorised officer, you may be issued a fixed penalty notice of £100. If you do not pay the fixed penalty, you may be liable for a level 3 fine of up to £1,000 upon prosecution. Wow. Bloody hell. So, it says that in the protection ordinance area around providing your name and address, you must give your name and address to an authorised officer if asked to do so to deal with any of the offences, any of the activities outlined in this order. Groups causing antisocial behaviour. So under this one, it's saying that we must disperse from the area and not return for 24 hours if asked to do so by an authorised officer because you have been congregating in a group of 3 or more people where 1 or more persons have been engaging in antisocial behaviour and at least 1 member of that group is within the designated area. Okay, so filming and flying a drone in this area does not fall under any of those conditions. So good job that I came and checked out that sign there, because I would never have known that for this area, and now if I do get approached and they try to enforce any of that or use any of that, then I know what the deal is there.
This situation right here is a perfect example of how preparation can completely change the outcome of an encounter. Before a single officer even gets involved, before any confrontation begins, what you're about to see is someone doing something most people skip, actually checking the rules first. Now that might sound simple, but it's powerful. Because when you walk into a situation already knowing the law, already understanding the restrictions, you're not just reacting. You're operating from a position of confidence. And that changes everything. But here's where it gets interesting. even when someone does everything right, reads the signs, follows the rules, stays within legal boundaries, it doesn't always stop confrontation from happening, especially in high-visibility locations like a police station. And that's exactly what we're about to see unfold. A drone goes up, questions start flying, and suddenly it's not just
popped up. Means you might not get the best angle if I'm flying a drone and I get approached, but there's not a huge amount that I can do about that, unfortunately, today, and I do apologise. I will try to do better and remember my tripod next time, or perhaps even just get a body-worn camera at some point. Yeah, so just gonna put you guys down for a second, get the drone out, set up, and start flying that around. I'm just going to cover a bit of the area as well, because I do think it's going to look quite nice in its lighting. Looking around, we've got a couple of buildings, a tall building there I've got to be wary of. We've got a drone over in the, not a drone, sorry, a crane over in the distance there. I don't know if you can see the red light from that. Okay. But that's far enough away that I won't be going anywhere near that. Couple of trees nice to look out for, so it's a good spot to get up. Obviously the drone has a signal light on it for me to be able to locate it in darker conditions, so it is legal to fly in this lighting. With that, I'll be back in a second.
That started, there we go.
Right here is a critical moment, and honestly, it's something most people overlook. Instead of jumping straight into filming or flying the drone, he stops and reads the Public Space Protection Order in detail. Why does that matter? Because these signs often get used as a catch-all by authorities to control behavior in certain areas. But here's the key. Just because a rule exists doesn't mean it applies to everything. Indeed, that's exactly what he's doing, breaking it down line by line, checking whether filming or drone use is actually restricted. This isn't guesswork. This is methodical. Now think about how many situations escalate simply because one side doesn't fully understand the rules.
Put it in flying mode, which means it's on a slow mode.
The conclusion, after going through all those restrictions, nothing specifically prohibits filming or flying a drone in this area. That's a huge detail, because from this point forward, any attempt to stop him isn't going to be based on those posted rules. It's going to come down to interpretation, misunderstanding, or something else entirely. But here's where things get interesting. Just because something isn't prohibited doesn't mean it won't attract attention, especially outside a police station. In fact, It almost guarantees IT.so now we've got a setup. Someone legally confident in what they're doing. In a place...
I don't want to be. Let's take this off on the right foot. Let me land my drone. Okay. When I'm ready to land my drone, I will land my drone unless you'll give me a lawful order to.
You're flying it. You're open public spaces where there's people walking around.
Okay. Are you giving me a lawful order to land my drone or not? That's all I need to know right now. That's all I need to know is if you're giving me a lawful order to land my drone. If you are, I will comply. I will comply with any lawful orders that you give.
Just while we're talking to you, you might want to do it so they don't crash it.
Well, you could not instruct the pilot in this flight. Again, if you're giving me a lawful order to land it, I will do so. Because the request is for I need to find what I've got to do.
Right, UK Civil Aviation Authority.
I suggest you look up the legislation.
No, I am.
Small drones. Make sure you go to the small drones.
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
Okay. In case you get it wrong and end up on there. Are you sergeant or PC? Or are you higher than that?
Flying closer.
You're not going to identify yourself?
Yeah, piece of work at the police station. Flying a drone 50 meters. So within.
Okay, keep going to the small drones.
Yeah.
Small drones. Okay, specifically the small drones.
How do we know it's a small drone?
Well, that's for you to investigate and find out. And I'm
Okay,
not
would you like to land it?
Is that a lawful order?
So that we can check whether it's a small
Is that a
drone.
lawful order?
Just so that we can carry out our investigation.
And I'm not in any
So
obligation
that would
to
be...
aid you in your investigation against myself, am I? It's not the
Do you have any
obligation of a member of the
paperwork that
public.
says that it's a small drone? Like the instruction manual, will that identify it rather than...
I'm not under any obligation.
Okay, so
to aid you in
small
your
drones,
investigation.
model aircraft below. Rules of minimum distance. People is different flying small drones and model aircraft below 250 grams. Is that drone less than 250
That's
grams?
up to you to find out, isn't it? I'm not here to aid you or answer your questions.
Okay. Flying a drone model small, lighter than 250 grams. So therefore, are you willing to lower it so that we can look at it that says it's lighter than 250 grams?
When I've got the position I've come here to get, you might be able to see what it is when I land it. If you want to stick around that long, I've still got 80% battery left. I'm going to be a while.
Right, you could fly no closer to people less than 50 meters based on that. So again, I'm merely asking, is it less than 250 grams?
Again, and I'm merely stating I'm not here to
To the technical side, and this is where things can get complicated fast. Drone laws aren't always straightforward, especially when you start talking about weight categories, distances, and operational limits. But one detail stands out immediately: the sub-250-gram classification. That's important because lighter drones are treated very differently under UK aviation rules. Fewer restrictions, more flexibility, but still with safety considerations. And here's the problem. Most people, including some officers, don't always know those distinctions in detail. They might know general rules, like keeping distance from people, but not the specific acceptance at SO when this drone goes up. It's not just about flying.
Well, you've got to take off and
So
start
there's no-
somewhere, haven't you? They allowed
No,
different distances.
but then you have to be
so-
away from people.
And to be honest, no, you're allowed within 50 metres of uninvolved people when your drone is on
Okay, please
250
keep at least 150 meters away from residential, recreational, commercial and industrial areas.
Again, that's not for small drones.
I've got small drones here. This is what I'm looking up. This is what I'm trying to make it as simple as possible.
And I'm telling you, you're wrong. You're looking at the wrong bit. You're allowed to fly within 50 metres of residential, commercial areas and
It says,
uninvolved people.
according to this, it's 150.
Again, you've gone past the small drone bit and it's gone on to the next bit.
This is
okay,
small drone.
keep going and it will get back to the small drone bit. That will say, unless. Trust me, I'm aware of the legislation. I wouldn't be here doing it if I wasn't. I'm not absolutely stupid right next to the police station. Why would I come and commit an offence next to a police station? Who would do that? Have a brain. Go see the Wizard of Oz or something.
It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Well, you're the one accosting me while I'm trying to fly a drone normally.
I'm here and it's gone over my head because it's
Yeah.
gone over the police station where there are people.
Correct, well done.
And that's why I'm here to say,
Okay. So I'm telling you, why would I instruct you to the small drone bit if my drone is not a small drone?
okay, so are you willing to lower it so that I can see it's a small drone then?
Am I obliged to? I will do anything I'm obliged to lawfully. Otherwise, you're going to interrupt my choice, you're going to waste my battery, and no.
So So explain this to me then. If you cannot, right? So can you fly a drone over a UK road? And this bit you said you know it, yeah? Which says you cannot fly a drone over a congested area over 50 meters.
Oh my god, again, that's not for the small drones.
Then what's it for? You tell me.
It's
You
for
know
the
more.
drones over 250 grams.
Okay,
There are
is
different
that one
classes
over
of
250 grams?
drones. I'm not answering your question. I'm not obliged to answer your question. I'm not obliged to help you discriminate.
I can't see.
I can see it.
Still has to be.
It has guide lights on it. It has guide lights on it. It doesn't. I suggest instead of standing here making yourself look like idiots, why don't you go call somebody who actually knows?
Oh, you know.
I
Well,
do
you know,
know,
you-
but it's
you
not
say-
my job to inform you. Go do your own bloody work. I'm trying to do my work. You go do yours. Don't stand here and tell me I'm wrong when I know I'm not.
Oh, there's so many different ones. There's so much wiggle rooms and all
So why
that.
don't you go call the CAA, ask them,
And who's the CAA then?
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, so you do know.
Yes, of course I do. Otherwise,
Here we go. The moment contact is made, the officer immediately challenges the drone use, citing safety concerns and regulations. On the surface, that sounds reasonable, but listen carefully to what's happening. The officer is referencing general rules, distance from people, proximity to roads, but the auditor is pushing back with something more specific. The classification of the drone itself. This is a classic clash between broad understanding and detailed knowledge. One side is applying general safety principles, the other is applying specific legal exemptions, and neither side is backing down. Now here's the key issue. When authority is combined with uncertainty, it can create tension very quickly. Because even if the intention is safety, if the
The footage of what though?
whenever I want to film, I mean, a public road, flying legally.
Okay, well, my impression is that you're recording the police station. You're recording footage within the police station. That's what it looks like to me.
Even if I am,
Huh?
even if I am, that against the law.
Depending on the circumstances of why you'd be getting the footage, it could potentially be, yes.
What I'm doing with footage post facto would be unlawful. The act of getting footage is never unlawful.
Okay, and how would I know what you're doing with it
Well, you
afterwards?
don't, do you? And I'm not obliged to tell you. Even if you arrest me, detain me, search me, whatever, you're not going to get any more answers.
I mean, the objective is always to avoid anything at all costs and to figure things out. I merely come out, engage with people, to talk, to discuss things. As you can see, I'm willing to look things up on my phone, find out, because I don't 100% know things.
Exactly.
Your attitude, it does come across ever so slightly rude.
Well, that's because I'm trying to do my job.
Which is
and
what?
I'm being interrupted.
Trying to do your job, which is what? Give me some indication.
No, I don't want to talk to you. How can I make this any clearer? I do not wish to engage with you. Unless you're suspected of committing any crime, you're going to detain me or arrest me, please leave me alone so I can concentrate on what I'm doing. So I'm in low lighting.
Yeah. So could that be considered dangerous if it's low lighting?
It's not guidelines. It's perfectly lawful, but as long as I concentrate and you stop interrupting me, absolutely perfectly fine.
Just give me 1 second.
exchange highlights something deeper than just drone laws. It's about control of the situation. Notice how the conversation shifts from what are the rules to prove if officers want the drone landed so they can verify its weight. The auditor, on the other hand, is refusing to comply without a lawful order. And that distinction is crucial because in his view, simply being questioned isn't enough. There has to be a clear legal basis for that demand. Meanwhile,